First topic here. This viral hit from what's his name? Anthony Oliver, or sorry, Oliver Anthony or something. Let me see here. Oliver Anthony. It's actually not his real name. His real name's a little something different. But this song's been out for a couple weeks now. It's I don't know if you haven't heard it already. I don't. It's not my kind of music, but it's pretty catchy. It's like a folk country type song. But he's talking about what he deems as the current sort of um, political environment and the uh, just I guess kind of where the U.S. is right now, or how he feels where the U.S. is right now, and I think it's striking a nerve with a lot of people. It's like really hitting a chord. So it's debuted at number one. It's got a crazy amount of downloads and um, uh, I guess and purchases or whatever. So I'm going to read this article a little bit, and then I'm actually going to read the lyrics of this song because if you if you just hear the lyrics on their own, it's pretty good. Um, Whether you like the song or not, whether you like this type of music, because again, this type of music's not my cup of tea, but it is a catchy song. So here we go. This article is by the New York Times. As I always say, take it with a grain of salt. I just like reading stuff from these kind of articles or these kind of journalism, whatever you want to call them, outlets. Just because they're with this kind of stuff, they tend to be a little bit chirpy, and it's kind of funny to see what they say on sort of on the left hand side. But here we go. So Richmond, north of Richmond, an independently released track by a little known performer billed as Oliver Anthony Music became the surprise number one song in the United States this week, topping hit superstars like Taylor Swift, Morgan Wallen, and Olivia Rodrigo. The song, which was uploaded to YouTube just 2 weeks ago, caught fire with conservative commentators including Matt Walsh and Laura Ingraham. Described it as an authentic expression of working class struggle through some critics, although some critics winced at anti-welfare sentiments that seemed to hark back at the Reagan era. If you're 5'3", this is one of the lyrics in the song. If you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not pay for your bags of fudge rounds. It's kind of funny. His actual name is Christopher Anthony Lunsford, but okay. So Richmond shoots to the top of Billboard's Hot 100 singles charts with 17.5 million streams and 147,000 downloads. Wow, that's crazy. According to the tracking service Luminate, after Jason Aldean's "Try That in a Small Town," so there's another song. So people are. This is the shift I think that we're seeing now. That people are starting to get really sick of the culture, I think, and there's this pushback, and it's called a conservative pushback, but really it's not a conservative pushback. It's a pushback to moderate, to the middle. People enjoy the middle. People like the idea that you can be conservative, but conservative centrist, and I can be liberal centrist, and we can all get along just fine, and there's none of this polarizing shit. But the problem is now what they try and do is they see something like this and they go, "Oh, it's a conservative movement, and it's the right wing," and they say all this kind of stuff just to dismiss it, or or to to criticize it, just to make people feel like if you are that moderate person and you do resonate with something like this, you're gonna go, uh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just shut up. You're saying something about this song, or maybe whatever. But people are quietly, obviously, watching it, or buying it, or whatever, right? So they're quietly supporting it, but you know, it's this back. It really is like part of this backlash of saying like enough's enough. We're done with this bullshit. Um, you know, Division, I guess you'd say. But okay, so anyway, so really that's kind of it for this article. It just goes on to talk about other songs and stuff. But I'm gonna read, like I said, I'm gonna read the let me see, I got the lyrics up on my phone here, and I'm gonna read them just because they're really quite they're quite cool. Okay, so here it is. This is just the lyrics. I'm just gonna read them, obviously. So this is not with any kind of music to it, but it says, "I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away." So it's not very clever as far as the rhyming thing there. He says away twice, but whatever. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do. And they don't think you know, but I know that you do because your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end because of rich men north of Richmond. So you can see that it's a political song. But this kind of thing is hitting a nerve because people realize that you know this is a way of outing this kind of thing quietly, you know, in media, right, or in song, and it's not like overt right out in your face, right? So I think people just like that kind of like the message being quiet. Here's the second chord or second verse. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. I like that. It's funny. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. So it just goes back to the chorus, but you can see that it's hitting a couple nerves, I think there, um, which is nice to sort of see somebody actually talking about this. He talks about basically like um, that refers to um, this young men killing themselves, right? Um, so yeah. So Joe's asking, do you think the divide can be bridged? Yeah, I do. I think we are right now. I think we're starting to bridge the divide. I think media or I think songs like this, whether you like it or not, whether it's your type of music or not, which it isn't my type of music at all, um, I'll support it because I like the message behind the song. But I think this is the kind of stuff that moves the needle back, right? People go, okay, well, enough's enough, and they just see these pushes one way or the other, whether you're insanely on the right or you're insanely on the left. They see this kind of thing, and then you see the middle kind of say, all right, you know what, let's just kind of push off this noise that we hear from both these crazy sides. So good on this song. I'm glad it hit number one. Again, not my type of music, but it's good. It's good for the culture, I think.